Welcome to the video today. Today I want to talk about fast tracking your life. How do you actually get places faster? How do you succeed in your goals quicker? And I'll tell you the answer here in a second, but I want to start by telling you a little bit about how things worked for me. I became an entrepreneur, as some of you already know, at the age of 19, and we started building business and things were going okay, and I was figuring out on my own, but I was working my butt off, like seriously, like working more than I did in any job that I had previous. So literally there I am as an entrepreneur, signing up for freedom, right? To own my own business and then working harder than ever. And the thing was, I wish I could say that I figured it out quickly, and I didn't. It was years and years and years. So I went through my 20s building my business, and from the outside, everything was going up. It's, revenue increase. All my friends, people who knew me, they're like, Steve's building this great company, and it looked great. And we were working with, by the end of my 20s, we were working with Fortune 500 companies, had big clients, things were going. Behind the scenes, I kept reinvesting in my business, trying to figure it out, hiring more staff so I didn't have to work as hard, and to my own demise. In the end, we were grossing more revenue every year, but then I was taking home less. And it got to the point where, I was all in and I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. And I had become, now at this point, at the end of my 20s, I became a father. I had my first child, my son. And now I'm even more freaked out because I want to have time with my family. I'm working harder and I'm not getting the reward. And I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but it's not fun. I literally was like, okay, if I don't figure this out, I'm out. Like, I don't even want this business. I was getting to that point and I loved what I was doing, but I was at the point where if I can't figure this out, I'm out because I want freedom. This is not cool. Well, I wish I could say as well that I figured it out and I went and got a mentor on my own, but I didn't. It was actually one of my writers. She called me and she's like, Steve, I met these two guys. You got to come meet them. They're just like you. They're young and energetic and you got to come. And I looked at their website and I was like, oh my gosh, their website's horrible. I'm not going. Bye. Click. I hang up with her. She calls back. She's like, you have to go. And I said, have you looked at their website? It's horrible. I hung up again. She called a third time and said, Steve, I bought you a ticket. You have to come to their event. So it happened to be right next to another event I was going to. So I ended up showing up at the event and I was not really wanting to be there. I was planning on leaving early and I sat down. The speaker started speaking and said everything I needed to hear. Right at the first break, I walked up on the stage, went up, shook his hand and said, hey, I'm Steve Napolitan. I've got to work with you. And he said, maybe. And I was like, well, I told him a little bit more story. He said, okay, let's talk at one of the other breaks. And sure enough, I wrote a big fat check. And in that check, actually, I was even worried, like, am I gonna be able to cover all the bills? Like, I went above and beyond, but I was so tired of what I had. It was basically my point of going all in. It was either like, I'm gonna make this happen or I'm out. I'm just, doesn't matter. I want to change my life. So it was the best thing that I ever did. I basically took myself way out of my comfort zone, paying expensive price for a coach. But in that next 12 months, I nearly doubled my income and I had more time with my family. The fact is that I'll give you this metaphor. It was literally like all of my 20s, I was building this business, but I was running into walls, wall after wall after wall. And I would come back every day and I would say, oh, let me use this saw. And then it didn't work. And I have to come with a bigger saw, a more powerful saw. And I'd cut through and sometimes I'd even get through the wall and then there's another wall. Boom. And I probably just messed up the audio right there. But I just, had to use my hands and make that example. But I'm telling you, it was like really hard and it hurt a lot of times. And once I got this mentor, he literally came into my business, well, figuratively, came into the business and said, there's a door right there, Steve. And I went and had to check it out and there was a door there. And I said, how long has this door been there? And he said, the whole time. The fact is, I had my blinders on, I was running my business and I couldn't see everything. So if you want to fast track your business, here's the deal. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. Go learn from others. What happens when you copy in school? You get in trouble, right? You can even get expelled. And I'm not saying to go plagiarize or anything else like that, but here's what I want you to ask yourself. If you go copy a millionaire or a billionaire, what's going to happen? You're going to have success. Go model what other people have. Whatever you want in your life, find someone that has it and go grab on. Do whatever you can. Pay them. And the reason you want to pay a mentor is because I've had people who are like, oh, let me take you to dinner and ask you a few questions. You got their time for a limited window. When you pay a coach, they're there for you every week, every month, making sure that you have what you need, that you're not falling down wherever you need help. So the whole word for today is get mentors. Get mentors. And I did say with an S, I have 3 mentors right now. One around my business and speaking career. One around my mindset. I always have a mindset coach because I'm going to the next level. I'm opening up my mind to where can I go? What can I reach? And then third, right now I have a nutritionist that helps me with how I eat. How do I feed my body so I can have more energy? So go out there, find who you should work with, and latch on. Make a difference. What's going to happen? You're going to collapse time frames. You're going to get more done and have more achievement in a shorter period of time.